Hey, what's up? It's Tati and I'm back with another review of AEW Rampage. We started off the night with Powerhouse Hobb versus Penta for the TNT title. And okay, so look, the match wasn't bad. However, I still felt like, what's the point of QT and friends being with Hobbs? Like, Hobbs, he can cut promos on his own. Maybe he needs a little bit of work, but I don't feel like QT is going to fill in what's missing with Hobbs right now. So it really just feels a little bit out of place. We have all the people who's part of the QT TV thing, and they're all ringside. And obviously they do help Powerhouse Hobbs end up winning this match. So there's a lot of interference going on. I just feel like just because you're a heel doesn't mean that you need an entourage with you helping you win. Powerhouse Hobbs, I really do feel like if they have a little faith in him, that he can be able to do this shit all on his own. So like I said, it just feels a little out of place. The match wasn't bad. I wish it just had a little bit of more chemistry, but because they're trying to also not just show Powerhouse Hobb as a champion here, but they're trying to show the significance of QTV people being with him. I feel like that took a little bit away from the match. I really did not like this. Towards the end of the match, we do have Aaron Solo, who causes a big distraction for Penta, and Penta was focusing on him in the ring while the referee was just absolutely blindsided for like a whole fucking minute, which just doesn't make sense. And because Penta was so focused on Aaron, that helped Powerhouse Hobbs, you know, have a little bit of a break and then get back into the match and end up taking the win. I don't like how they're doing this with Powerhouse Hobbs. I feel like he's capable of, you know, being a heel on his own. Right after that, we do have Ray Phoenix come out with a hammer in hand to help his brother, since QTV and friends decided to gang up on Penta, and all this just was a little bit weird. I'm not feeling it. Right after that match, we did have a video package recapping Kenny Omega's match with El Hijo de Vikingo, and they really did a great job putting some of the best moments from that match with that package. And then right after that, we get a new package, and this is to promote the match for the IWGP US Championship. Kenny Omega, who currently has that title, he won it back at Wrestle Kingdom from Will Ospreay, so that's back in January. Since then, he has not defended this title, and Jeff Cobb has been waiting to get his hands on Kenny ever since, even maybe even before that. So now we have that match coming on Dynamite on Wednesday, so that might even be the main event for the night as well. So this is another banger. If you don't know who Jeff Cobb is, I do recommend checking out some things of his on YouTube if you can. So I do have a lot of high hopes. I don't know if it's gonna upstage the match from Dynamite this week, but it's surely gonna be a good match, and it's great to see finally some you know, New Japan and AEW coming into the mix right now, because we really need to get things starting to get in place for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which is a little later on this summer. So next we had Ricky Starks in the ring calling out Juice Robinson, and Juice Robinson's come out and they have an exchange of words. Ricky does end up grabbing him, but he ends up running away and saying that they're gonna end up having a match in New York. And that match is sometime in April, I think April 5th. And it just seems so weird that he just said, oh, well, I don't want to fight you here. I want to wait until we go to New York. And I'm like, well, what's in New York? To be honest, for a quick second, I thought he was going to say, let's meet each other at the ROH pay-per-view. Maybe that wouldn't have made sense. But, I mean, waiting until April 5th in New York, I don't really see the significance in that. It just felt, I don't know, their little feud thing is getting a little bit weird, to be honest. Like, Ricky Starks is one of those guys that I feel like is going to be major in AEW, and after having a long and a little bit unnecessary feud with Jericho Appreciation Society and having a huge win with Chris Jericho, you think that things will go only up from there. So it just feels a little bit weird to be you know, having a feud with Juice Robinson. I'm not really sure where they're going with this, but if they give us a great match, that's great, but I'm not really interested. After that, we do have a promo with Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt, and they're talking about how they don't know when, they don't know how, but they're gonna be champions soon. And I don't know what's going on with that, but I'd rather see Jay Lethal getting involved with what's going on in ROH. I don't really know why we haven't seen him at all. Maybe we'll see his presence at the pay-per-view, but I'm not really sure, because it seemed like they're a little bit focused more on AEW rather than ROH. But at this point, ROH and AEW, there don't really seem to be anything to separate the two. So since he's talking about gold, maybe we might see him in ROH. I'm not really sure where they're going with that. Up next, we had Jake Hager versus Brody King. This is the match that I said that they should have did last week. We finally got it this week. Now, both of these guys, they are huge and they look so great. And I just love looking at both of them, especially Brody King. He's huge, and those tattoos just make him look so menacing. I love it. Now, this wasn't like the best match there is. However, I was entertained, and this match also gave us a bit of a new feud, and that's with Anna Jay and Julia Hart. Anna Jay does end up attacking Julia Hart, so you know something's gonna come out from that. So what that means is that, you know, Jericho Appreciation Society is still going to be in the mix for the trios title. I'm not liking that, but I am happy to see some opportunities for Julia, because I've only been seeing her on Dark or on Elevation, so we haven't really seen too much of her in the ring as far as Dynamite or Rampage go since, I would say, sometime last year, definitely not this year. So I'm happy to see other opportunities with her. Now, I thought about it real quick. Abaddon, she's been injured, and I was like, man, if she wasn't injured, she would have fit really, really well with the House of Black. I would have loved to see her with them, even if that is alongside with Julia. But Julia, she's doing a great job, and I think it's about time that we get to see more of her on the bigger shows such as Dynamite and Rampage, to show why she's part of the House of Black. I'm liking where they're going with that. But the feud with Jericho Appreciation Society, it's getting a little bit old, and I just wish everybody from that group would just separate. So after Brody King ended up picking up that win, we do have a promo backstage from Swerve Strickland, and he's back there with Tech 9, and so it seems as though, maybe, I'm not entirely sure, what he's saying is that people want to know when his feud with Keith Lee is going to be over, and he's saying it's going to be over when he says it's over. And also he said that, you know, Keith Lee had took down both of his men, meaning Parker and the other dude that's just really hard to look at. It seems like he's saying they're out the picture. I'm not 100% sure, but now he's saying he has a new person to join the Mogul affiliates that's going to help him take care of business. Who it is, I'm not sure. And I don't think he says anything cryptic to kind of give a hint as to who that is, but I'm interested to see who he will be with. The thing is that I don't think that Swerve needs anybody in his corner. He has the potential to be one of the AEW's major heels, and with him being with other people right now is a little bit of a waste. But I'm just gonna hold my tongue until we see who this guy is going to be. Next, we have Taya Valkyrie versus Layla Gray. This was not even a match, if you want to call it that. Yeah, the bell rung, and Taya ended up hitting her finisher on Layla, but it was like 3 minutes. Nothing really happened. cannot stand that they're doing squash matches. It is so unnecessary. You have TV time. You got 3 hours of national TV time, and you're wasting it on stupid shit like this. Valkyrie is on her 2nd match with AEW, and it's another 3-minute match. And you want us to believe that she should be the TBS champion? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm so disappointed with that. This is something that needs to stop. This does not help build any wrestler at all when they do stupid shit like this. I don't even really want to get too much into the details, but I know they're trying to, yeah, they're pushing her onto the main, to that scene of the TBS championship, but I just feel like they're doing it in the wrong way. Now, after that 3-minute squash match, Mark Sterling comes into the ring. He has his clipboard with his so-called legal document about her stop using her finisher. She ends up hitting her finisher on Mark Sterling. I like Mark Sterling. You know, he doesn't mind playing like a secondary character to help build up other people, and I like him with Jade or whatnot. I just feel like the way that they're going about this is just not cool at all, especially for the women's division. They need so much help. Little things like this is just really ruining the division. So now it's main event time for tag team action. We got the Acclaim versus the Kingdom. First things first, when it's come to the main event, I think that they should not do picture-in-picture. Somehow they should like not have any commercial breaks. Like, how dare you guys show a ad for American Dad and think like I'm gonna be watching the damn match. Like, I'm not gonna be watching. Sometimes the ads are a little bit too, I don't know, too catchy, and you're just not going to pay attention. But either way, the main event wasn't bad. So we do have Matt Menard and Angela Parker. They're both at the commentator's booth, and I'm just like, what's the point of them still scouting the Acclaim? Like, what would y'all get from this? I don't know where they're going with this, but it is what it is. Now, the match I did enjoy. Now, I'll say this is one of the more enjoyable matches that we've seen from the Acclaim lately. The Kingdom has been doing a really great job in ROH, and I will say this, like, if you're not watching ROH, you're missing out on some really great matches, especially with the tag team division. They're really, you know, working hard to build that division up. That's probably the best thing that's going on over there right now. And in comparison with AEW tag division, it is looking real good. Now, the Acclaim, they're being their fun, playful self throughout the match. Things that people love about the Acclaim. And the Kingdom are also giving like what they normally give. They have Maria ringside, who's, you know, being a heel and helping them with distractions with the Acclaim or whatnot. Now, honestly, I really feel like there is something missing lately with this division, and I feel like perhaps with the changes that they're making with the ROH tag division, we'll start seeing some improvements with AEW tag division. Like I said, the match, this is probably the best match of the night, to be honest, but it wasn't the best match that we've seen from both these teams. Now, we do have Maria, who's distracting the Acclaimed, and then we have Top Flight that comes out, and they make sure Maria get the hell out of there. Now, this is important, so if you're not watching ROH, then you wouldn't know that Top Flight have a feud with the Kingdom, and both these teams will be at the pay-per-view for the Reach for the Sky ladder match. So, you know, we do see little things from ROH playing out on AEW TV, and I think that's great while they're getting ROH, you know, up and running. But at some point, I think they need to separate these things. The matches wasn't bad. However, the Acclaim does end up taking the win. Overall, the show was, it was what it is. For a Saturday night, I could have been watching something a little bit more entertaining, but to be honest, I don't know what else I love more than pro wrestling, so this was as good as it gets. during Rampage, they did announce the matches for Dynamite next week. We do have Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia, and I'm actually excited about this because I'm tired of them talking about Adam Cole is returning every 2 seconds. I'm annoyed. I just want them to get over with this. We do have Kenny Omega versus Jeff Cobb for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. I'm really looking forward to that. We also have Matt Hardy versus Jungle Boy, whatever. We do have Orange Cassidy versus The Butcher. We already know what's gonna happen with that, so I can care less. I'm pretty sure that's opening the show. We also have Ruby Soho versus Willow Nightingale, so that's gonna be interesting. And we also have the BCC versus Dalton Castle and the Boys. So if you pray, you can start praying for Dalton Castle and the Boys now before Dynamite next week. Guys, thank you for watching my review. I'll be back next week. Bye.